Welcome back to our podcast. As always, I'm your host, Elon, with my 3 flashes.
All right, hey, there we go. What's up, everybody? Woo!
As always, shout out to Stanley for doing this for us. Sponsors, Viking Matco and Northeast Texas Storm Chasers.
Viking Matco is one of the top suppliers of timber mat products for the construction industry in North America. Our new and used timber mats, hardwood access mats, timber crane mats, and swamp mats provide support and stability for any project.
Northeast Texas Storm Chasers is a small group made up of 5 chasers throughout the Northeast Texas region. Cover any and all severe weather events that affect their area, no matter if they are out in the field or behind a phone on the couch. You can guarantee that this group keep you and your family safe and prepared for all modes of severe weather. For more info and or questions, please visit their Facebook page, Northeast Texas Storm Chasers, and be sure to click that like button. Thank you for supporting our podcast.
Love ya. Now that's out of the way, Flash. We got a returning guest. Kinda. Last time he was on the podcast, he really didn't get to talk very much. Because his other half, his better half as we call him,
Lesser.
was here. That being Cole, motherfucking Trickle was here last time with this man. He's from the same state I currently live in right now. That's the thing. And that's why his name is Krob XPA. But welcome, Mr. Corn on the Cob, to the podcast.
Why, thank you, sir.
What's up, Mr. Corn on the Cob?
Oh, not much.
No, it's Corn on the Krob. Get it?
That's actually the name of our chat for fantasy football that me and my cousins have because of people
actually?
calling me Corn Cob. Yep.
Really? Oh, I'm psychic. Wait, that's weird. But what's up, buddy? How you been since last time you were on the podcast?
Been good.
Kind of on the podcast.
Been good. Having fun doing races and
Oh yeah.
podcasts and just all kinds of fun.
All kinds of fun. I know you run an EMA, right?
I run EMA's Xfinity series and then Assist Target and Lagrange on the truck and the Xfinity. The truck series is kind of more up for grabs there as far as, like, we all kind of just pitch in on that.
Yeah.
But I handle the Xfinity side of things, and I also run Smith XNC's Smith Nation All-Star Truck Series on Wednesday nights as well.
Yes, sir.
Along
You're
with doing
you're in the Discord as well? Or does
Yeah.
Smith do that?
Yeah, I do the Discord as well.
Okay, so you're basically the mastermind behind everything Smith does, pretty much, what you're telling me.
Not really. I'm not involved with the super speedway stuff because I hate super speedways and I've lived
I
to be
know.
known. So
I know.
I don't run in the super speedway lobbies. I share out his stream and I have a tab pulled up for him. That's the extent of my involvement with super speedway racing.
Feel that.
Unless the league dictates I have to race there.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not going to
Which-
dictate you to race.
The two schedules that I had control of was Smith's Trucks and the Xfinity Series, and we started out at Talladega and don't have another super speedway race for the remainder of the season.
Jesus.
Get it out of the way early and don't go back,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Hey, I did one for you guys. We're done now.
It's like, yeah, I did something I don't want to freaking do. Let's do it early and then say fuck you. I ain't doing it no more.
I mean, if I really wanted to do things my way, we would have run Talladega, and then the next, what would it be, 21 races would have been at Martinsville.
Yeah. You and your fucking Martinsville, it's insane. That's the
love
one
Martinsville.
track K-Rob can actually, that and Eldora can physically beat me at.
Well, I like real racetracks.
Eldora?
There it is.
I don't know, damn
That's a real racetrack. What do you mean?
I would also crush you at Phoenix. I've seen you race at Phoenix. I
Not
would
anymore.
annihilate you at Phoenix.
Not in customs, only in presets.
No, I would
can
annihilate
beat
you
you
at
on
Phoenix.
custom or preset too. We've seen that at Phoenix.
Well, I mean, I beat you a preset literally 2 weeks ago in CRL. Fuck you talking about?
Yeah, no, but you were cheating that day.
How?
You existed.
Yep.
No, hey, I was cheating this week, if anything, bro. Fuck.
Well, we'll get to that. We get to talk about the week in CRL later on. Pretty boring week.
Karen, what you got going on? Anything secret that you can expose? Yeah.
Nothing secret.
Oh. Well,
I want to
shit.
say, how does it feel to have a longer segment than you did in the first podcast already?
Yeah, I know.
I've said more words so far than I did in my previous appearance. Feels nice. I only have about 4 more left, and I'm done though. I'll run out of words.
Yeah, Kieran's a man with like 3 words in his vocabulary. It's fuck, shit, piss. That's suave. Sorry, that's suave. Suave as shit, piss. Fuck. Love
true.
that, man. That's all he fucking ever said was shit, piss, fuck.
But no, really, all that I've got going on right now is what we've already talked about: the Smith Nation All-Star Truck Series, the podcast that we do with Smith, that we've been on a little bit of a hiatus due to weather and things of that nature going on. I mean, this week was a really shitty situation. Smith was working outside of his house and cut through a septic line. So,
That's
So-
shitty.
yeah, he had too
Literally.
much shit going on to do the podcast this week.
Literally.
But so we've been on a little bit of hiatus because I mean he lives in North Carolina, so you know we're in the midst of hurricane season. Hopefully that stuff starts to calm down a little bit and we can get back to our regular schedule on that. But everything's been going well as far as the EMA series is gone. I mean we got some really good competition over there that you probably heard a good bit about with Target and X last week.
And look, you're just half asleep.
Yeah. Well, Lagunge works away from home, so he was probably wanting to go to bed after the race was over
Well, yeah,
an hour
Target
before
kinda
you
roped
even
him into
started the
that.
podcast.
Target roped him into that one, though.
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
he
Target's
made
good at
it
roping
with
us
us,
into stuff.
I was gonna say Lagunge made it a good. What did he make it with us? An hour and a half.
The whole
So
time?
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
He sent 2 pics to us at the end.
Yeah.
None of them did.
But I mean,
Really
I've
good,
been
yeah.
really happy with how everything's gone so far. We did move our trucks to Wednesday nights. We had been running Saturdays and had a really good response the first week. We were down a little this week, but everybody had a lot of stuff going on as far as the qualifying and practice for the Pro League, and we have a lot of guys who were eligible for that were not with us because of that. So, but other than that, our numbers have been good for just about every race we've run so far. Having to have multiple parties for each race, a lot of different winners, and I think kind of at this point right now, I'm really pleased with how EMA is going. I think we're one of the better leagues in the heat community right now as far as the talent level and the result we're getting on the track from things that I've seen throughout the community. Not putting anybody down. I'm just saying I think that they've done that. Our drivers have done that well.
Sorry, what? I had a seizure a little bit.
Oh, you calling out that other league, huh? Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't-
corner cut and fucks.
I don't call out other leagues. I don't do that. That's not me.
I don't either. I didn't either.
I'll let you do that for me.
I coughed. Oh, it's the same league I'm talking about?
This one isn't a league that would be considered in our NASCAR heat community that we all are
no.
part of. Meaning
No,
that
that's,
the 1,000 or so of us with the good community, all of us that, mean a lot to each other and actually do for the community, I guess is the best way to put it. This league is that league he just mentioned is not that. So.
Oh, we got coughed.
But yeah, we won't get too on topic on that. But
I just coughed. Sorry, I've COVID.
But yeah, I mean, what you were saying, Krob, I mean, you mentioned the level of talent in there. I mean, some of the names you mentioned. I mean, yeah, like you said, pretty much a good amount of them are eligible for the Pro League or trying to get in to it. So I mean, that's
for the
pretty
Darlington
amazing
race. For the Darlington race at the beginning of the Summer Showdown Series, we had 8 drivers that run an EMA that made that race.
Yeah.
And several other guys most of those guys were also in contention and all the other ones as well. Probably one of the, as far as that goes, one of the best names in the league as far as his success over there. Didn't translate to Atlanta though. Was Amore Smoke. He was the top guy for Pocono for the qualifier over there. Did not unfortunately make it to Atlanta, but we had 2 guys that run with us that did make it, Stout Whiskey, who actually finished second in the race. And then Aviator, who has been, if any of you guys watched season 2 of the Pro League, he had a lot of really good runs throughout that, and he had a lot of good runs through the Summer Showdown series as well. So really glad to have drivers of that caliber running with us. And then, you know, it also is a boost for guys like tonight. We ran our Cup Series race. Sean for Life had taken a few weeks off from the NASCAR heat thing just to kind of decompress and everything. Came back and won at Atlanta, beating More Smoke to win the race. So
it's not Armor Smoke?
No, it's not. But if you ask Smith, it's Armor All. That's all he'll call him now. He calls him Armor All.
I always thought it was Armor Smoke.
Nope, it's a More Smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, I genuinely thought it was Armor, like the Armor brand of like meat.
But I mean, in tonight's race too, it was just, I mean, those guys were going nuts. We had 3 wide passes for the lead coming off the corners and stuff like that, with no contact between guys. Just excellent back and forth racing, and something we've come accustomed to. I mean, we've had that's what I said in our post-race interviews, was that I would almost classify this as our best race, but then again, we had a race at Indianapolis where the first and second place cars were separated by 0.04 of a second at the line.
Whoa.
So,
I mean, sounds like me and Lucas.
you know, that to me is pretty impressive, because the amount of laps you're running in a race like that, and it was long green flag runs at the end of the race to still have 2 guys battling it out that hard at the end of a race. Last week at Canadian Tire, it was nose and nose between Catch Dog and a More Smoke, or an Aviator actually, for the win in that one. And that's just something we've been accustomed to seeing each week, and really liking the development of that. On the Smiths League, also really pleased over there too. We've had over 35 drivers race with us so far. Off and on throughout the 6 races we've done so far, and a lot of different talent in that. We've got a lot of, that's more of a development driven league, but we still have the high end guys like a More Smoke comes to race, Human Target, Tiger, 85 XSC comes and races with us. Those are all pretty well developed and good drivers, but these younger guys that are just getting into heat or haven't really had the chance to run with that type of competition or getting a chance to run with. And as the old saying goes, iron sharpens iron. So
Exactly.
That's very true.
I mean, you know, when you have, you know, like you said, iron sharpens iron. When you have that level of competition kind of bouncing off each other, and then you, like you said, with Smith's League, you know, it's developmental. You got all those guys in there working with some great competition like that. I mean, it makes them better and better.
And some guys are already at that level, but they just haven't had the opportunity to race with people at that level.
Right.
And one guy I'll give an example of is a guy that we've raced with, and I raced with him in Smith Super Speedway stuff before I stopped doing that. Was his name's Dale 3 XVA, and we raced with him over there, but we'd run a few preset races at some other tracks and stuff like that. He did all right, but I hadn't raced with him enough to know the level of driver that he was, and he showed up over here in EMA and has had some really good runs so far with us this year. Then you got a guy like Gali, who's been around racing in different leagues and stuff, and he comes in our league, and he had some struggles for the first couple weeks, but these last few weeks he's been running up front, having some really good finishes, ran in the top 4 for almost all of Canadian Tire, had an issue at the end and fell back, but he'd also finished, I think, 4th in the night before that in our Texas race for the Xfinity. So a lot of guys I'm seeing things that I, you know, not that I didn't expect, but that I wasn't sure was gonna, you know, wasn't sure how they were gonna compete. But been really impressed with some of the improvement too that we're seeing throughout the season with a lot of these guys.
Yeah. That's with EMA being so young still, people don't know that's still what, maybe 3 months that y'all have been official racing. If that?
We not even
No, it's
actually.
not even that. Because
Yeah.
when
I
the
think it was
Guns
in
on the
May.
podcast last time, he said something about he had something up his sleeves, which we found out was EMA. But I don't. It's been like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. So I've done. That's crazy.
Yeah, and like I said, really like the level of competition we have. We're always open to more competition coming in as well. So if anybody's out there listening to this that's looking for a good league with some stiff competition, by all means, get a hold of myself, Human Target, Lagunge for Life, X.25, Catchdog 70, any of us. We run Wednesday nights at 9:30, Thursday nights at 9:30, and Friday nights at 10.
Starting at 9:30 on Friday, I can know show.
Yeah, really liking where we're at for a time slot, and as far as being able to get good attendance with that, and like I said, we've got a really good roster as it sits, but there's always room for more.
Always room for more, and quality drivers too. Everybody over there that you've mentioned has been like people that I've heard of for a long ass time.
Several Heat games.
Yeah. Well, not Target.
Well, not Target. Yeah, that's fair. We learned that about on
And
last
X.
podcast. Yeah.
They're newbies.
Well, X is a newbie, but at the same time, he's been around longer than some people have.
Right.
Because he raced with Blaze back on NASCAR 14.
09. Said as well.
09.
No, it was 14.
Okay.
14. One
Yeah.
and 2. 1 and 2.
Yeah, so he had some experience with online racing before he got back into things here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got a lot of guys. Then we got some guys like Turner races with us whenever he's able to, which right now they're in the thick of their racing thing. They're right now down in Pensacola. I did not see any update yet, but just anybody that was wondering, I did see that Jake Garcia, being the driver for Turnco Motorsports, was the fastest in their last practice session going into the race. So
that kid is quick.
Yeah, they were about to do qualifying in the race right after that. So if he was able to back those up, I wouldn't be surprised.
I actually saw that they ran in Nashville like right after SRX ran there.
Well, the full story on that is they ran there the night before SRX.
Oh.
And then on night 2, Ricky Turner, who would be Brian Turner or Turner XGA's dad, was the crew chief for Chase Elliott, Paul Tracy, and I think it was Ernie Francis Jr.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, that's his dad?
Yeah, Ricky Turner is his dad. He was the crew chief for Chase Elliott when he won the SRX race, so he came home with a nice little crew chief plaque, crew chief winner plaque, and everything like that.
That's awesome.
That's not the first time he's done that. Chase Elliott, to give you more backstory in case you haven't gotten this from Turner before, Chase Elliott used to drive for them back in the day before he came to NASCAR.
That makes so much sense why Turner's always the fucking 9 car.
Yeah, well, Turner lives in Dawsonville, Georgia.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's a local boy.
His dad had raced for quite a long time, got into doing engines, started helping Ernie Elliott, Bill's brother, on engine stuff back in the day. And then when Chase got involved in racing, they'd already had a car and been doing this kind of stuff, so they put Chase in the car. And that's where Chase got his start on the Pro Late Model circuit. And now they've got this young kid, Jake Garcia, in the car, and they've been going around winning a bunch of races. But Turner still does stuff like when they had the Snowball Derby back in February. Chase went and ran that, and Turner and his father helped out on their program as well for that, helping them get everything all set up. Turner does the tire work on the team, and he did that for their team and Chase's team. So.
Oh. That is
But kind of cool, it's a guy that that is involved with that kind of stuff. So it's kind of a little cool deal to have somebody you know involved that highly into the racing community. I've got another guy that I grew up watching his dad race and hung out with him a good bit at the racetrack, and he has been a crew chief for a bunch of the different truck teams for NASCAR. He's kind of the guy that they call in when they need a replacement if their crew chief got suspended, or they, some of the lower funded teams will just hire a crew chief for the week. But last season, going into Phoenix, he was actually crew chiefing for Brett Moffitt, who was one of the final four going into that race.
Wow.
And then as far as any other local ones around me, of course, I work at Dave Blaney's racetrack. That's that giveaway there. I've been around the Blaney family my whole life, so really exciting to see Ryan having the success he's having. Getting to see Dave have some success this year. They had the World of Outlaws at his racetrack for the first time in 12 years, and Dave hadn't actually won a race with the World Outlaws in 27 years, and won the race that night for his first win in 27 years, driving a car that he built by himself and had it painted up to replicate his father's old sprint car from the 60s.
Yeah, that was amazing to see that win. I know that was an emotional win for the whole family.
No, I'll tell you right now, it was an emotional one for anybody that was there, because that place is Dave Blaney homers packed.
Yes.
I mean, I've never heard a racetrack explode with cheering for any of the races. I mean, he won. They run the Lou Blaney Memorial for his father every year, and he won that, and that was pretty cool. But this topped it tenfold. I mean, I've never, I was standing there with my dad and my uncle, and I've never seen them cheer for somebody else winning a race like that. It was just really a cool thing to experience.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those kind of wins that the other drivers in the field were probably cheering for him when he went across the line. It's that much, you know how much it means to the community, and they know, and, it's one of those instances.
Yep, and it was really cool to see that. I mean, then, the following week they had a regular show there, and his brother Dale hopped in a sprint car for the first time in 2 years, went out and won that race. So been a lot of cool things I've been getting to see at the racetrack this year. Another one, I don't know if it's actually going to happen or not now, because I saw last night that he dumped it, but Alex Bowman is getting into a sprint car for the first time this weekend. He started last night, dumped the sprint car, and he was supposed to be going and running Attica and Fremont this weekend over in Ohio.
See, he
And
looked
then
good, though.
Now on Sunday he was supposed to be coming to Tri-City Raceway Park, which is 10 minutes from my house. So I was going to make my first trip up there this year to watch that race, just to go and see it. But I don't know if he'll make it now or not. I don't know how many cars they brought with them for this one.
How bad did he destroy that one?
So
I didn't actually see the car, so I don't know. I mean, those cars are, as long as you don't bend the frame, those cars are pretty forgivable as far as getting them fixed. Kyle Larson flipped his sprint car at the Kings Royal and came back and won last weekend, or 2 weekends ago. So
yes, sir. 37th annual.
Oh, you done messed up mentioning Kyle Larson. Now he's going an hour segment of it.
Hey, that's okay with me. I like Kyle Larson. I've watched him race quite a bit at Sharon
So
Speedway.
have I. I've watched
He's always put on a really good show. I've watched him not put on that great of a show, and still come out with the win. I think the second time he was there, Christopher Bell was also there, and he was killing them. Christopher Bell was long gone. Kyle Larson wasn't even sniffing his exhaust anymore. And he just got a little too enthusiastic lapping a car and put himself in the wall. But yeah, just doing that kind of stuff, going to the racetracks, running these races on Heat 5, been having a lot of fun doing that. This weekend, probably going to have my dad's car out for the first time this year. He's getting back involved with racing after being out of it for, since about 2010 when I got into it.
Wow.
So he's, the plan was at the start of the year, they took my old car and him and my uncle were putting it together, and one of them was going to race it each weekend. And then in the process of putting that car together, he got a call from his former car owner who said, "Hey, you want to come out of retirement?" So they brought the car up to my dad, and he has 2 cars. They brought the older one up. We were just going to put it together as the backup, but then the car owner got sick, so now my dad's been just putting that one together to run it. So it'll finally be ready this weekend, and my uncle's car's been ready. He's had 1 race, so get to see both of them on the track for the first time in quite a few years.
I want to get
I'm
back
sure
into
that'll
it
be-
so bad now.
I'm sure that'll be really cool to see. And yeah, I know him talking about all that makes you think about when you used to run, huh?
It hurts.
What'd you used to run, Heathen? I didn't know you used
Super
to
late
run.
models.
Ah. Well, I was in there. Ugly stepsister. E-mods.
Oh God! I don't know how fuck people drive them damn things, bro.
Well, my dad has driven everything. He's from stock car all the way to sprint car. The only thing he actually didn't run was a super. He ran a crate late.
Yeah.
Um,
I wanted to run the dirt late models, but they wouldn't let me.
yeah.
So
Well, that's all I've ever done is dirt. But my dad said an E-mod is the hardest thing he's ever had to learn how to drive.
definitely.
I'm sure.
Sprint cars, he said that's easy. You just point and go.
Same with
Big
the
block
super models, it's
modifieds,
not hard.
the New York style modifieds, you drive really hard down the straightaway and you turn into the corner and you sit there and wait until you can get back on the gas again. He said that stuff's all simple. These E-mods with all the horsepower they've got in that skinny little tire, not quite so easy.
Definitely not. That's like the hardest car to drive. I haven't driven personally, but I have a friend that used to drive, and he never got the grasp of them.
Oh, I mean, it takes a lot. I mean, to be honest, I never really did. I was getting to that point right at the end. I had a really good run my last season, and was really getting to that point, but my heart wasn't in it anymore. It was an all-day job. I was doing it by myself. I didn't have any help in the shop, and I really wanted a stock car if I was going to keep racing, and just never got the chance to get into one of those. But they're super difficult because I mean everything that you know when you get into one of those cars after driving a street car is completely different than what you can do in a dirt car.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, even running in pavement, you know, you run an E-mod and you go into the corner. If you're running a pavement car, you know, if the car's pushing up the track, you need to slow it down to get her back down to the bottom. And dirt style car like an E-mod or a late model on the dirt, if the car's pushing, that means you're not getting it in hard enough.
Yeah.
So you've got to drive harder and hope that it sticks.
Most time it doesn't.
Which can be interesting because you know a lot of like I said, everything's backwards. I ran on a 3/8 mile track and that's dirt tracks are measured weird, like Lernerville Speedway, which some of you guys might have heard of because it got a lot of World Outlaw shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They've been on some video games. That's a 3/8 mile that they measured it around the inside of the track. So it's a big 3/8 mile. Sharon Speedway, where I work at, was measured through the center of the track, so it's a regular 3/8 mile track. The other track I went to, Mercer Raceway Park, which is 15 minutes from our shop, was measured on the outside. So it's a small 3/8 mile track, and it's flatter.
How big is
So
the
you go to a
Grove,
Grove's half mile. So you go to one of these smaller tracks, and the instant thing in your head is, well, I'm not going to be able to drive it as hard into the corner, and you're wrong.
You have
Because you have to drive it harder into the corner.
Yeah.
At Sharon Speedway, a normal size 3/8 with a decent amount of banking, you drive it as hard as you can down the straightaway, and you turn the car into the corner while you're still under throttle, and then as it's rotating back over to the right side of the car, all the weight, that's when you lift out of the throttle just a minute to get back, and then get back in it. When I went over to that other track, I couldn't figure it out when I'd first started driving. We went over for a practice, and I couldn't get the car to turn, couldn't get it to turn. Well, finally, I go back in a race condition, and I'd been driving for a while, so I'd gotten a little more knowledge. And so I was just driving it in deeper until finally I realized I don't have to lift. And that was a blast. I mean, that was probably some of the most fun I ever had on a racetrack. Of course, I was running a 355 cubic inch engine with a 2-barrel carburetor on it against guys that were running 430 cubic inch engines with a 4-barrel carburetor on alcohol. So I wasn't racing with anybody competitively, but I had a blast doing it.
You're racing with yourself, huh? That was about it.
Yeah.
He was his own class.
And to be honest,
class race.
Yeah.
to be honest, that was probably, like I said, that was one of the most fun nights I had. I've had nights where I've been in the lead, and those were the least fun that I had.
Yeah.
Because when, that isn't NASCAR Heat 5, there's no mirror. You can't tell where anybody's at. I've won a lot of heat
There's no
races.
spotter either.
My first season at the end of the year, there was a 2-day show. I won both heat races that weekend. And the second time I came off, and my dad was standing there when I pulled in, and he said, "Did you happen to look over at the flag stand when you were turning to come into the infield to go back across and exit the track?" And I said, "No." He said, "They were just crossing the line." Like, you're kidding me. Because the night before, I'd had a guy I could see his nose sticking underneath me a couple times here and there throughout the race, and I won that race. But I won by over half a track in the heat race the second night, and had no clue.
Wow.
I honestly think that it's better for that anyway, because like when you don't know where people are, it makes you, or if you don't really worry about you could see them, your mental state is so much better because you make less mistakes. Because like if you're sitting worried about the dude behind you, you're gonna fuck up. You're not gonna fucking do good. If you're worried about the guy behind you, you ain't gonna do good. Like you're gonna mess eventually, and you're gonna lose the race because of it. But like, that's why like, I know that Krob, you like, oh yeah, you heathen, you use your mirror. I have it on, but if you watch any of my streams, I use the fucking turnaround camera to look. I don't look at the mirror at all. I use that mirror. I use the turnaround camera to fucking look at people behind me. Because it's just natural for me not to look in the mirror. Even when I'm driving, I look in the fucking mirror.
There isn't a turnaround mirror in a dirt car, so you don't know where anybody's at, and you gotta trust that the guy behind you, if you put the car in a bad spot, is gonna lift for you.
Yeah.
And that's and like I said, sometimes being out front isn't all that fun. Like I said, I enjoyed that race where I was at that one track where I wasn't lifting. That was a lot of fun. I think the most fun I ever had in a race car was a race where I spent 15 laps running side by side, inches away from the same guy the whole race, running for 5th. Wasn't even in contention to win the race. Was running for 5th. But we were inches apart from each other. He'd be on the inside, I'd be on the inside, just back and forth. And the reason that I thought that was the most fun I'd ever had in a car was because it was very early in my racing career, and to that point, I hadn't done anything in a car that made me really feel like, yeah, I'm good at this. And after that, to be able to hold on to it and not have any contact with that guy for that entire race, being that close in a car where it's trying to wreck itself every inch of the racetrack you're on, that was my I can do this moment.
You made me want to get back on the track, hey Rob. I'm telling you right now, you made me want to get back on the track.
I want to get back on the track, but unfortunately, the most cost-effective thing to do anymore in our area is a sprint car.
Yeah. Well, for me, I mean, my thing is I can't do it because of my concussion issue. That's why I had to stop racing in the first place, because of my concussion problem. But, which sucks because...
Well, I'm too fat for a sprint car. That's my problem. Because they're little tiny cars, and they only have to weigh a certain amount, and there's little tiny guys that drive them. So
Ryan Newman fit in one a while ago.
I'd be out there like I'm running a lead sled.
You have like fucking like 200 more pounds than everybody else. Like, what the fuck? Why am I so slow? Well, I'm carrying more load than you are, boys. You're lighter,
but
I'm heavier.
There are some guys, like there's a guy that we know. He grew up around our shop, and when he was a little kid, whenever my dad would fire up the car, they'd come running up the road to come see the race car. And he's actually, he's my age, so he's been in racing for a while, and he actually got in a sprint car, and he just got an old sprint car off of a guy, and he put a 305 in the thing. And that's what he runs. He goes out to the racetrack and runs. He's not running for the win or anything like that, but he's been competitive in a couple races for some positions, but running in the back, but still having a good time. And I don't know. I'd like to maybe do that someday. But again, like I said, I'm too fat.
You're not too fat, K-Rob.
I'm definitely
Not
too
at
fat.
all.
Flash is too fat.
No.
Flash, you weigh more than I do. Shut up.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
How much do you weigh?
How much do you weigh?
Oh,
Before I
don't play
expose
that.
myself.
How much do you weigh before I expose myself?
More than 200?
I weigh less than 200.
Oh, fuck you. You did not. You
Aw,
look like you
sucks
weigh
to
more
be
than
you.
200.
Maybe a month ago or so, I've lost 25 pounds this month.
It's not. Well, I'll be gaining like 20 pounds on the 27th. So.
What, are you having a baby?
Of alcohol.
Oh, that's right, the
Alcohol baby.
27th, he said. Yeah, it will be an alcohol baby.
Alcohol, baby.
Be a temporary beer belly.
Temporary, my ass. I already have one. Are you, have you won league races? I know you talked about this last time. How many league races, like, what's your favorite, like, league race moment you've had? Like, league racing? If you can pinpoint one exact moment.
Well, really, my league racing career has not gone the way I'd like it
Oh,
to
I
have
know.
gone. But
Mine either.
Yes, you have. You've won a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it weren't for Blaze, I probably would have beaten Flashes for the All-Star win in PSES.
Yeah.
Hey,
Because in
don't
that
hate my man.
stage, Blades hit the wall coming off a 2 and put me into the inside wall in the backstretch, and I was only, I think, 7 seconds behind Flashes when we ended the race. So that definitely cost me more than 7 seconds.
I also didn't fucking race, man. So I don't know what I was even doing that night. What was I doing, Flush?
You might not have raced, but there were a lot of guys there who were pretty good that did race. That
Yeah, that was, yeah, you were there. I forget what you were doing, but yeah.
Why not? I lost. I wasn't there.
On the last pit stop, Turner was ahead of me by about a second or so, and me and him were battling, and he ended up, I forget if he quit or lagged out on that final stretch, but coming to pit road, I was trying to gain time on him, so the lap before, I pitted and I crashed. Well, not really crashed. I spun and kind of tapped the wall with the left front, but went into pit road. But I got like 6 seconds of damage. I did not fix it, but it cost me a couple seconds getting into the pits. And I don't know if Turner hadn't have quit or lagged out. I don't know if I would have won that because I had damage the rest of the run. But yeah, that was a fun race. And yeah, I'm glad you didn't make it, Heathen, because I probably wouldn't have won.
Texas is my baby.
no, we had to go to pit road multiple times. He would have screwed up.
Hey, I fucked up tonight in the first pit stop.
It's good. Get it out of the way early.
Exactly. No, it's fun this way.
I definitely sped on going on to pit road in the last stop in the EMA race tonight. So
Yeah. So who's the fuck up now?
yeah, well, I was not. I think I lost 1 spot because of it. So
I lost 1 as well. Well, technically none actually, because no, I lost I lost. Never mind. I'm retarded. Don't worry, but I'm stupid.
Oh, we all know this. It's okay.
Wow. Aren't supposed to agree with that, Flash.
Oh, don't
Say,
I
oh
always
no,
say?
you're not. You're supposed to be. Oh no, you're really, really smart.
That's only when we play our Trivial Pursuit games.
I just know my
Yeah.
biggest thing when it comes to league races is my goal for the night is to try to improve my position from where I started the night.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't want to
sure.
finish worse than where I started.
That's my goal.
That's always been like, even, that was the goal at the racetrack. Load the car on the trailer the way you unloaded the car on the trailer. Complete all the required laps. And I think I've done an alright job of doing that for the most part, because I suck at qualifying. And that really's helped the average.
Yeah, so you're saying it was
Being terrible at one thing has helped me be good at the other.
Yeah, nothing to do but up when you qualify bad,
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a problem with doing that.
Unfortunately, everybody qualified really shitty tonight, so I started 9th and finished 10th. I lost one spot, so. But
I
that's one cool
qualified
thing that we've done here a lot with
second.
EMA is we do, and also in the Smith Nation Truck League is we're going to do a hard charger award for the season and a pull award for the season. So at the end of the season, whoever has the most pulls will get a pull award. Whoever has the most hard charger points, at the end of the season will get a hard charger award. So could just give a little something back, because generally your guys who finish up front are a lot of the times the guys that start there. So the hard charger's more to give to somebody who might not, win as many as the other guys, but they still put in a good showing by working their way up through the field.
Definitely.
And unfortunately, our Cup Series isn't really going that way, because Smoke was running in another league and was late for qualifying, so he didn't qualify. So he got a good amount of hard charger points tonight, because you still get that even if you don't qualify. You just don't get it for, basically how I do it is the last guy that qualified, you can't get any more points than he would for hard charger.
Yeah.
So like the cutoff for this race, we were down a little bit in our numbers because still had a couple guys didn't want to come race after the Pro League race. They've taken a week off. We were down to 15 for tonight, a little low for us.
Yeah,
So the cutoff was 13th. So Smoke finished second. He was able to get 11 points out of that. So right now he's had a couple races where that's happened, where he was late to qualifying, and he's sitting up top with 37 points. But I imagine throughout the entirety of the season, that average will probably come down a little bit, and we'll see some of the other guys get up there. But I just thought that was something cool for the guys, get them something else that you could, have an opportunity to run for.
Oh, I think that's a really good idea.
It's a pain in the ass.
To keep up with, yeah.
Yeah. Because see, I'm still analog. I haven't gone full digital here. I'm right now, as we're talking, figuring up the hard charger points for Atlanta tonight, with a pen and a piece of paper.
Oh, shit. Damn, I didn't know that you'd still be doing that. Like, old school shit.
That's how I do my points too, man.
Take notes, people. Krob doesn't need.
And I try to get the points. Like I'm a big stickler on points. I like to have points available so people can look at them. I want to
for
have
sure.
like, if you ever pay attention, if anybody who's in any of my chats will know, generally the Cup point or the Xfinity points for EMA and the truck points for Smith's League are both posted by Sunday.
Wow, damn.
That way everybody gets an opportunity to sit there and look at it throughout the week, and also to, have it in there so maybe more people will come and look at the Discord. That way I don't get 13 questions about where we're racing and what time.
Hey, Krob.
Hey, I
Yes,
didn't know
sir.
Chevy was on this podcast. Where are we racing? That man asks
Bro,
every week.
he
We love you, Chevy.
always does that fucking shit. He's like, hey, where we at tonight? The same place we've been at.
We follow the actual NASCAR schedule. If you want to know where we're at, go on J-Ski and look at the schedule. All right, we're in trucks. Okay, so the trucks are here. There you go.
The trucks are off. He's like, what the fuck? They're off? Oh, no shit.
Well, and and being completely honest, I understand that side of it too, though, because we got a lot of guys in the community that are running every race they possibly can.
Yeah, a bunch of different leagues.
So I understand to a point, not being able to, so many different discords and whatnot. Just, easier sometimes to say, hey, where are we at? I was
it's just
talking
a
with that
meme
about
with him.
somebody last night.
It's me with him. He
But-
does it every single time. It's just we fuck with him a lot. It's like, hey, Chevy. Hey, look, sometimes like when we race and it's like, oh yeah, Chevy, we're there. Like we
Oh,
We're
Jay
starting
Grant loves
now.
fucking with him on it in our chat that we're in.
We have a setup chat that we're in, and
Yeah.
Well-
every single day it's like, hey.
I will say one thing: if it's an admin that does that to me, I kind of do give them some shit because, in my opinion, that's your responsibility to know that. When
Yeah,
other people
he-
ask that question, you need to have that answer.
What? I'm not an admin.
So I've had a couple situations where I've had an admin say, hey, where are we at this week? And it's like, you know exactly where you can find that information. You need to go look. Because if somebody else has the question and I'm not available to answer it, you need to be the one to answer it.
And I was just
Ethan.
messing with Ethan right then because
What?
earlier tonight
What did I do?
we were finishing up our stream tonight with CRL, and I was talking about the schedule next week, and we're at Bristol, and Heathen actually knew. Heathen was like, no, Xfinity, we're at Chicagoland, and I didn't know, and I was like,
I didn't
I'm
know
not
until yesterday when Chase
technically
told
an
me.
admin, but I'm the broadcaster, so I should know
You
that.
are
I didn't
an
even know
admin?
we were there. Okay, yeah, y'all want to call me an admin, whatever, it's fine. But yeah, I didn't even know that, so that's why I was messing with him. I was like, because you're actually normally on top of knowing where we race at.
No, not really.
You act like you are at least.
I don't look at the schedule at all. What the fuck you talking about? I don't look at that
Oh,
shit.
I know where we're at that week. I usually don't know the week in advance until I look.
Oh, yeah, same.
Well, it
I don't
sounds like
check
you
shit.
keep up with the points pretty good, though. We should have got you to be doing that over with PSCS. Damn.
Yeah. I do enough points. I'm good.
Ugh.
Which, hey, I mean, and then, we had that conversation, me and Dude Chef did, and I fully understand, what's going on over there. The majority of the group left to go to iRacing, and I told Sammy, I said, I don't blame anybody for that. It's the game's fault.
Yeah.
If this game had lived up to what it was supposed to be to begin with, then we're, not in this situation more than likely. Because this game was supposed to be this grand
Post
improvement on
iRacing.
Heat 4, and
Yeah.
they copy and pasted Heat 4. All the things that they were supposed to bring to the game that were supposed to build upon the game either didn't work, and they just removed it instead of fixing it, or
The ticker.
the ticker, or just fell on its face and was not better. The paint booth, not better. The ticker,
No.
non-existent. That was
Oh, it
one
was
of the
the
bigger
first
things.
day.
Well, no, it wasn't. It didn't work.
Oh, I know. But it was at least there.
So there's a lot of things that we can look forward to for the next game. But
Only
at
up
that
from here,
point,
hopefully.
yeah, at that point, and with the new with this game falling on its face, being in a pandemic where everybody was sitting at home and they were getting checks sent to them by the government, there were a lot of people that just went out there and bought themselves a brand new computer and
Just
got on
Blaze.
iRacing.
Yeah, it was the perfect storm for them.
Yeah,
Just Blaze was one of them people.
actually, no.
I know, I'm fucking with him. I like fucking with him.
I thought
was
he
not
did
one
buy
of
it
those
with
people. His brother was one of those people, and that's how Blaze got his computer.
True.
Yeah, his brother upgraded. But, and that's, I mean, to be honest, iRacing is, and that's the thing. What we're doing over here on Xbox is still arcade racing. We are not sim racers.
Yeah.
iRacing is a simulation. We're still arcade. So,
Do you think the new game is going to bring that a little bit closer to the sim racing?
Supposed to.
it should. But I've been told this before.
Yeah.
I'm one of those. I'll believe it when I see
I
it
see
kind of
it.
guys. It's
Yeah.
and we were just talking about that in another party. I do not buy any of the Call of Duty's Battlefields nothing until at least 2 months after the game is dropped.
Oh yeah, same.
Mhm.
Me and Flash didn't get Cold War until Christmas.
Oh,
It was a Christmas sale.
I never
That was a
bought
good
it,
deal.
and the reason why is because I play with a group of people. That's
Oh, yeah.
I play with the same group of people in everything that I play. And if none of them are playing the game, then I'm not buying it. And they all went and bought the game, but within 2 months, not one of them was playing the game. So
Yeah.
I don't waste the money to get it if they're not going to be playing it.
Yeah,
But
I get that.
Now NASCAR Heat, the new NASCAR game, I will buy it because I'll play it regardless of whether it's good or not because it's the only option I have because I don't have iRacing.
Hey,
But I mean, I'm somewhat hopeful. They've got a lot more options with the new console. That's what
Yeah, from what I've been told, apparently when so I did an iRacing thing tonight with for PSCS's iRacing thing. I helped out and helped commentate with because Atlanta was racing, so I helped commentate. They're talking about possibility of it only being on the new console. Like, I highly doubt that because of the fact that the community's not that big.
No,
To
and they
do it
now
on
I can see
one
the
console.
next iteration.
Oh, the next one, yeah, possibly because by that point, 360 fucking kill me. The Xbox One games won't be really a thing. Like
Yeah.
they're not. Aren't they stopping production of Xbox One games next year or something like that? The year after?
I'm not sure on the cutoff date on that stuff, but I know like
No, Madden.
it could be a
Madden
minute.
is the double version.
I
It
know
could be a
when-
minute on that because of the fact that nobody can get one.
Yeah,
yeah.
and I was going to say, I know when the Xbox One came out, it was hard to get for about a month or so, but then
Still
people,
is.
you could the one Xbox One when
yeah.
that came out in
Well, go
2013.
try and buy one at a regular price right now.
Right,
They're still hard to get right now because they want freaking
Right.
$800 for an Xbox One X.
right.
So I have.
But when the original ones in 2013 came out, the Xbox ones, they were hard to get, but nowhere near what this console generation has been. And they still only made the 360 games until I think the last one was like early 2015, maybe late 2014.
Yeah, because I had NASCAR 15 when
yeah, I think that was
Inside
one of
Line was after that or whatever. No, they didn't have a NASCAR until Heat Evolution, right? After
on the one?
after 15, not after 15 wasn't. That was the next game.
yes.
Yeah, so I had that one, but I wasn't. I didn't have anything else before that. 2K17 has. There's a 2K17. I think it's 2K18 as well on 360. I don't know. I think there's definitely a 17 on 360. So I don't know, but I'm hoping that it's cross-gen. Well, obviously it'd be cross-gen. I'm hoping it's cross-plat.
Yeah, I just I'm hopeful that we'll get better than what we've gotten and can build on the community instead of what we've had going on, which is a lot of losing from the community.
That's the understatement.
But definitely, like I said, right now for what we can do, I'm very pleased with what's going on. Over on the EMA side of things, over on the Smith Nation side of things, been seeing a lot of positive stuff for CRL as well. I was running with you guys a little bit in the Cup Series, but when we made the transition with the Truck Series, it was just kind of one of those deals where we weren't getting enough traction on Saturday night, had to do something different. And at that point, I'd lagged out of all but one race, so I was pretty much screwed on points anyways.
Yeah.
So, hopefully, maybe one day schedules will align where I'll be able to come and do a part-timer race.
Oh yeah, it'd be a lot of fucking fun when you come back, man. You miss you over there. Bro, you were with the 10 car?
Yeah.
Speaking
Somebody's
of
got
the
to rep the
10,
bacon now.
speaking of the 10 car, sorry to get off topic, but he actually won the cup race this week.
Yes, he did. One hell of a
Um,
race, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a surprise winner for sure.
Now,
Well, and he
everybody,
definitely earned it.
I know. Everybody's giving Austin Dillon shit because he held him up. I'm here like, but if you think about it, he held him up because if Almirola won that race, Austin's
And
out.
knocks him out of the playoffs.
And I feel like if he could have held on for one more, like that one more corner, I think Bell might have been able to catch him at the end of the race. Possible. I don't know though,
Yep.
but it's possible.
Well, if they'd have gone the full length, Bell might have got there with Austin Dillon holding him up. If Austin Dillon hadn't held him up and they went the full length, Almirola still wins the race. Regardless, though, he was going to have to get around Almirola, and Almirola wasn't going to let that happen very easily.
Yeah.
One thing to catch a guy, it's another thing to get around him, especially when you're battling for a playoff. Like, that was going to be Almirola's only chance to get in.
All Daytona.
There's no other chance. Well, yeah. As far as, like, getting into the playoffs, it was by winning a race. So he's not going to let one go very easily. I mean, I thought they did a good job. They had a good car right there at the end. They weren't the fastest car all day. I actually think the fastest car on that track the whole
Was
race
Logano.
was the 22.
Yes.
I hate to fucking say it, but you're right.
And then
Fucking
the
shitty
other two
motherfucker.
fastest cars were also Penske cars, which I think bodes well for moving forward here. Penske's starting to take a step forward.
Yep. Without Brad K, which he made it official this week as well.
I will say, and I'm glad the championship race is at ISM, because Logano is my driver, and I want him, if he has a shot to be there, he'll be able to run good there. If it was at 1.5 miles, he would be done, because the way they've been on these low horsepower 1.5 miles this year, they
Yeah,
haven't
he
had
finished
it.
lap down both fucking
Penske
races.
Penske overall has struggled at the 1.5 miles this year. But I think that's, like I said,
Blaney has.
Well, I was going to say, you're forgetting one guy who won at 1.5 miles.
Well, Blaney, he's just been having a better year overall too. I mean, I don't really know what the difference is, but it's just the 2 and the 22 especially. They just haven't had the speed. I mean, they've been.
Well, one thing I think that's been a big consideration for why some teams are struggling over others is because some teams are just now getting caught for how they were cheating.
Hey, now.
I believe there were 2 HMS cars that both got busted
Yeah,
this week.
none was the 5 car.
No, but they'd already gotten busted for things they were
Well,
doing with
HMS
their.
has a history of cheating, and there's been an admission by Gordon. I forget what it was on. It was on a documentary. It was mentioned that in that they said it was during like the 97, 98 area where he had like on his spoiler, it was like a way to drop the spoiler during the race to increase like on the straights, and then when going in the corner, bring it back up, like all through remote control inside of the car. Like that was supposedly
How the fuck did not catch that, bro? Like, what the fuck?
right.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's-
I mean,
they got some
Evernham
free
talked
shit
about
going
it. It was like he said, I forget if it was radio controlled or controlled inside the car, but it was like the rear spoiler could be controlled during the race, and they would never get away with that now. I wouldn't think, because I mean you have a lot more eyes on the cars. You'd be able to see it moving, but
Well,
still
the
was-
one thing I will say about HMS is, who's the competition director over there now?
Chad
Mr.
K.
Old Mr. Chad Knaus, and who was the most penalized driver in NASCAR over the last decade?
Jimmy Johnson.
Old Jimmy Johnson.
yes.
So, you can bet that they're trying to push for every tiny, minuscule advantage they can possibly get in every
Yes, they are.
race they run.
Hey, they're doing a damn good job with it though. Not getting caught.
But well, they're getting caught now. They've gotten caught twice already. So
Yeah, the same weekend.
no, they were caught before this. They were messing around with the hood latches, or not the hood latches, the flaps.
Oh.
And who was that? It wasn't HMS, but it was a couple years back now. The roof caving in. Was that Harvick or something? There was a thing like everybody was saying it was cheating, and then they were saying, well, it just something happened to the roof and something broke or something. I forget. They were saying that it was they were messing with the aero on the car or something.
I don't remember that one. I do
Yeah,
remember back in the day, the old COT cars, or not the old COT cars, the next gen that was after the COTs. And Johnson and them took off immediately in those cars and were just killing everybody. And like, if they were at Michigan and they were shooting a shot of them coming down the backstretch, and you could see what they were doing, and it was very obvious compared to everybody else, is the body was placed on the chassis at an angle.
Yeah, it was skewed out. Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember
he
that.
had that thing skewed out before, and you know, watching that replay, you can see none of the other cars were skewed like that, just the 48 car.
Yep.
Hey, they didn't bust them at first though. So
They always busted them.
how they get through first tech though?
Well, because the template's made to fit over the body. If the body still makes the right dimensions,
Right.
it still
enough.
fits the templates.
Yes. It's just able to be skewed like that. I mean, I remember watching those clips too. That was what, the 08 or so, when they still had the splitter on the front end too, right? Like the well, not they still have splitter, but I mean like the splitter with the actual what is it called? And they changed it because, you know, it had that front end where those splitter bars would break or whatever. They made it like all one piece. That
Yeah.
same year, that was when they were doing the skewed sideways, like you're saying, and it had the wing on the back and all that. That was like 08, 09, I think.
Scary time for NASCAR.
Yeah, it was really
Almost lost
shitty
Brad K.
cars too.
Almost killed the man's. Literally. Almost
Yeah,
fucking
and I mean,
died.
I've been a Penske guy my whole life. Well, not my whole life. Since I've been a fan of NASCAR, I was a Penske guy, and for a very good reason. I was probably about 6 years old, and I went over to my dad's for the weekend, and we went into the house, and on the way into the house on a Sunday, before we watched my first ever NASCAR race, on the porch there was an empty case of Miller Genuine Draft.
How old were you, K-Rob?
It was like 5 or 6. So
Jesus
Rusty
Christ.
Wallace was the driver of the Miller Genuine Draft #2. So he was instantly my favorite driver. So I was a Penske guy from that point on. And so that could lead me to be a little bit biased, but guys like Brad Keselowski and Joey Logano have gotten bad names throughout the years for different things that have happened on the track, and I haven't necessarily seen things the way other people saw them in those instances. Joey Logano and the Matt Kenseth deal. I've watched that video over and over, and every time I watch it, Matt Kenseth comes down on the front end of Joey Logano's car.
Oh, I
They're
can't.
racing for a win at the end of the race, and he comes down on the front end of Joey Logano's car. I'm not lifting either.
Yeah, and I thought the same. I mean, but I mean, even if you want to look at it from the other's perspective, what Matt Kenseth did after that in retaliation in Martinsville should never have been cheered. I mean, it wasn't at a 200-mile-an-hour track, so it was less the chance of Logano getting hurt, but you're still destroying the equipment like that for no reason, and it's the leader of a race too, and your lap's down. It wasn't like it was a battle for the win, and he did that. I mean, he literally
That would have been
destroyed.
different, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take him out for the win, I mean, Earnhardt's done that so many times over the years, you know, and been,
He made that shit fucking his how he did it and
Yeah,
stuff.
but I mean, for what he did, I think Kenseth at the time was a couple laps down or whatever, or at least one or two. I forget.
He was
He might have came
several
back on the
down.
track. That's right. They came back on the track probably just to do that. And
Yeah,
that
because
was
he wrecked earlier in the race.
Oh, it was the sole purpose. He came out onto the track and like it was the first time Logano caught him, he wrecked him.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
He
Yeah,
didn't
that
wait.
was-
He just got it right out of the way.
I mean, he was parked for a couple races, but I mean, that was one of the worst moves I've seen in the modern era of NASCAR. when-
Ever that I've
Yeah.
seen in NASCAR history, bro. It's shitty that happened. I mean, I'm not a fucking Logano fan, like you know that. I'm
Yeah.
not a Logano fan, but like it's still bullshit that happened like that. So
I mean, if you wanted
Well-
to sit there and just block him for the rest of the race, you know,
I mean, that's
and
whatever. Like
make
that's
second
not.
catch him or whatever, or yeah. I mean,
Don't be a
that's
fucking
fine.
cockwaffle. Like
Yeah.
But yeah,
Um,
in the
fucking
same
bitch.
token, the deal with Truex at Martinsville then a couple years later, he bumped him off the track, and then they
Yeah.
bumped into each other going down the straightaway, and everybody was, "Oh, Joey Logano's a piece of garbage because of that." Well, that's again, racing for a win in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, they act like that
NASCAR.
was. I mean, they act like he should have been suspended for that, like Kenseth was for what he did. And I was like, what? I mean, that wasn't even. It's just because it was Logano, and that's what people. I guess they disliked him for. I never understood, other than the early on his dad always taking up for him and stuff. I get that, but like I don't never understood what people hated about him other than that. Other than maybe his, I don't know. They say his voice is nasally, whatever. They got a bunch of reasons to say that, but.
Well,
No.
and that win put him in the playoffs. That put him in the Final Four by winning that race.
Yeah.
So, because I've been on the opposite side of that, the opinion of that before too, and then that deal there kind of put it into perspective for me. We run a race at the track. That's a $10,000 to win stock car race. Biggest purse for stock cars in the country. The first year we ran it, there were two guys that were racing each other, and the guy that was trying to pass the leader was being as clean as he possibly could be, didn't touch him once, and got around him, and then the guy who he was racing with proceeded to drive right into the side of him and run him up the track to take the win. And I was like, oh, that's a bunch of crap, He ran him clean the whole time, and then he's just gonna run into him like that. And then when that Logano thing happened, I'm a Logano fan, so my immediate reaction is, well, he's trying, that's for a playoff spot, and then clicked right in my head. Well, that was for $10,000, so
Yeah.
it made me a little bit more understanding of that kind of a situation. But then the same time, the other stuff like Keselowski and his deal with Gordon, when they got into their little tussle.
well, that tussle wasn't because of that was Harvick pushed one of them into each other. That's what caused the fight.
Well, no, what caused the fight was Gordon drove down into Brad Keselowski and got mad at Brad. I like Jeff Gordon. My number was 24. But I've also been a Penske fan, and I watched, so that one I'm watching as an objective observer because I like both guys. And you watch the replay over and over. Brad's car doesn't move, Gordon's does.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
not
yeah,
his fault.
No. I mean, you look back to thinking about like rivalries and all that. One that's kind of turned itself around, talking about Logano, is him and Harvick. I remember they got into it early on in Logano's career a lot, and they did not like each other. There was the fire seat comment that blew up
the
with
Firestone
Navarro.
family.
But now they're actually real close, and their families do stuff together, every so often too. Forget what it was last season. They were, I think it might have been on Harvick's boat or something. I don't know, but there was something they were doing last summer during COVID. Like it's gone from that, nearly a decade ago to what they are now. So I mean, it just shows you that sometimes, drivers can work things out. I don't think him and Kenseth probably ever did, but him and Harvick sure did.
Yeah. Well, and even to that there, like, people that have changed their perception in racing, look at freaking Kurt Busch.
Oh yeah. Love
Yeah.
that guy now.
Like, Kurt Busch was,
An asshole.
yeah,
Mhm.
everybody hated him, and rightfully so. I mean, the guy did it to himself. He was a jackass to his team. He was a jackass to anybody who ever talked to him. And he's completely done a 180 on that. I still remember the first time, like,
Radioactive.
I really got to a point that I didn't like him was the All-Star race. Early in his career, he spins out Jeff Burton, and they interviewed him after the race, and he said, "I needed a caution." You don't, like, I
Admit
don't
that.
care, you know, if you're gonna do that, don't ever say that,
Right.
because
Don't admit this shit.
you wreck somebody out at 100 and some odd miles an hour, you're putting their life in your hands, and did something stupid like that, and that just left a bad taste in my mouth. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
since then, he's gone and, done all those mea culpas, and in my opinion, is probably one of the most talented drivers behind the wheel of a Cup car. He, aside from AJ Allmendinger on a road course, he was the only one that made that 51 car back in the day relevant.
Hey, Larson did too for the one race he ran before he blew an engine.
I didn't remember he ran in that 51 for a race.
Charlotte,
When
yeah.
was that?
Charlotte.
Charlotte at what
It was
year?
2013.
Yeah.
Where
Well,
was
he
he
did great
running?
things in the 78 for
Charlotte.
Furniture Row, and that was where he started to rebuild his personality. Wasn't being
Well,
an asshole.
I
And,
remember when he ran the 51 car, and they did a radioactive on him one race, and he was yelling at this fucking Kurt Busch on radioactive was literally the funniest thing you'll ever.
I thought he
fucking
was in the
see.
2 car on that one. Was this a different time?
No, this is the 51. It's when they're at Darlington.
Oh.
Yeah, Darlington. It was fun. Very fucking funny. Yeah, he's definitely did a whole 180. Complete 180. So, kudos
but yeah,
to him.
I definitely have become, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not like pounding on the soapbox for Kurt Busch is my favorite driver by any means, but definitely a guy who's changed his perception. And that's something we talk about, even to get back to things, the Heat community, you have guys that are still trying to do that themselves. And a lot of times it's because of nothing they've done themselves. It's because of things other people did in their name. And I had a conversation with a young man about that last night. There's just sometimes you're just gonna have to build your way back, and sometimes the way to do that is, give guys extra room on the track. Don't be in there, kind of keep quiet in the parties during the race. You don't need to be, piping in every time somebody says something. Just sit back and run your race.
They're heathen.
Guy gets loose in front of you and goes up the track. Give him the room to get back in line. It's a long race. You'll get another opportunity. The only thing you're going to achieve by pushing somebody along is to cause something and make an argument.
Yep.
Yep, and for most guys who let him back in, they remember that. I mean, there's those ones that, they feel like they're entitled to that or whatever, and they won't notice, that you're trying to be, a good sport. But, I mean, a lot of them, they will remember that you let them in, when you didn't have to, and they'll do that for you back,
Yep.
That's what it's about. I really do feel like that, to bring up the community, I mean, it's all about bringing each other up, and having some fun, running
Community
races,
is
being
such a
competitive.
good community, but there's some people that make it fucking terrible.
Yeah, there'll always be some that do. I mean, but we just gotta, be away from that,
That horse shit, as Jamie would say.
Good old Jamie.
Miss that kid, man.
Kid.
Is he
Yeah.
over on the iRacing side now, or what's he
I
up
don't
to?
know where he's at.
Somewhere in Wyoming, I guess.
No, Arizona.
Arizona now? Oh, he didn't.
He moved.
He moves every week, doesn't
Out by Mr. Rabbit.
he?
Really? Oh, Rabbit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rabbit's
the character himself.
Rabbit's in Arizona.
So-
Oh yeah. Me and him go back and forth a lot.
Oh, I know. Rabbit gets on my nerves. Quite a bit.
You don't bother me. I fire back. I just
He's
fire
like
back.
He's like a Blaze.
Well, he's old and ornery. I mean, that's, that's Blaze, I guess, too.
Yeah.
That was them, not me, Blaze. If you listen to this.
Yeah, fuck Blaze. No, I'm kidding. I love that guy.
Blaze
Fuck
knows
that kid.
Blaze, no, I fuck with him all the time.
Oh, I always say fuck Blaze. I actually was commentating the iRacing tonight. He was running top 10, and then I said, look at my boy go, and he gets wrecked the last lap.
Viking Mat Co. is one of the top suppliers of timber mat products for the construction industry in North America. Our new and used timber mats, hardwood access mats, timber crane mats, and swamp mats provide support and stability for any project.
Northeast Texas Storm Chasers is a small group made up of 5 chasers throughout the Northeast Texas region. Cover any and all severe weather events that affect their area, no matter if they are out in the field or behind a phone on the couch. You can guarantee that this group keep you and your family safe and prepared for all modes of severe weather. For more info and or questions, please visit their Facebook page, Northeast Texas Storm Changers, and be sure to click that like button. Thank you for supporting our podcast.
No, we are back, though. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. Obviously, people watching it back will not give a fuck or know because it's edited, so...
Yeah.
But,
Hey, Rob, you
we
still alive?
still have
Yeah.
K-Rob on the podcast. Sorry,
All
corn of the Krob. We have. That's the name of the podcast, by the corn of the
Oh, yes,
Krob.
that is going to be the name of it. Yep, Corn on the Krob. All right, so we figured that title out.
Easy
Yes, wasn't
peasy.
it?
Yeah,
But
I should have told you guys that.
what were we talking about again?
Things coming up.
Okay, things coming up. What are they coming up?
Good.
Other than the sun every single morning.
A bunch of races, which is just as frequent as the sun coming up.
Yeah.
I also, aside from running Smith's Truck League and running the Xfinity Series for EMA and being involved in the other 2 series, I also run in Rowdy Matt's Tuned Up Esports League, and we'll be racing it on Sunday at 8.
You mother. Say it right.
What?
Say it right.
Does
Say
he
what,
even
right?
know
Yes, he knows what it is.
the track
I'm not,
name?
New Hamster.
No, it's
No,
Loudon.
Hey, Stan, edit that part out and just put hamster over it, like a hamster squeak over it, and it'll be good.
There you go. Keep saying it.
But we'll be at 8
Dano.
o'clock on Sunday on the Cole MF Trickle channel.
Call, baby.
8 o'clock on Sunday. Cold.
And we'll be on the Smith XNC Facebook channel on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock for the Smith Nation All-Star Truck Series at Chicagoland. Be followed directly by a non-broadcasted race for the EMA Truck Series at the Indianapolis Roval. And then
Where do we find this race at?
you can't
Oh,
find that race anywhere.
Oh. Oh, shit.
We don't have a broadcaster for Wednesday nights as of yet,
Oh.
because somebody pays Cole to come broadcast their race.
Sorry.
And I ain't paying his bitch ass to do anything.
Wow. How rude.
But-
That's your husband there.
But Thursday night, excuse me, I'm the one wearing the pants over here.
So that's your wife there.
But Thursday night, we will be on the Cool MF Trickle channel, and we'll be at Canadian Tire, so back-to-back road courses for EMA, and then we finish it up with the Desert Egg of Phoenix, track that almost races like it's a road course.
Too much road racing lately going on. Ugh.
So Phoenix for the Cup Series on Friday night at 10 on the Cool MF Trickle channel as well.
Damn. Cole's busy.
Phoenix, I like. Yep.
Cole's a busy man.
Yep.
I feel like, yeah, he's broadcasting something every day of the week, isn't he?
I think he said he's up to 5, possibly. Might have something going on this Saturday. He's not sure yet, so
Oh?
stay tuned.
Wait, you mean today? Or because
Yeah,
technically
today.
the podcast comes out on Sunday, so
Oh, so
by
you
this
may have
time,
missed
it's already
something that
over.
Cole's going to be getting involved with on Saturdays. You can go back and watch it on the Cole MF Trickle Twitch channel. If there's nothing there, he didn't do it.
Okay.
he's like, oh yeah, it's not today. Ah, nope, Sunday. Oh shit, they're about to. Got to rewind the track a little bit.
But yeah, that's what we have coming up.
Hell yeah.
Busy as always, K-Rob.
Okay, Rob,
Yep.
as always, it's always been a pleasure talking to you. You are staying for picks, right?
Picks for what?
It's been a pleasure talking to you, Flash.
Oh, wait a
Yes,
minute.
sir.
No, fuck, there's no picks for NASCAR. God damn it, I forgot!
Yes, always, K-Rob.
Wait, what?
Definitely
Wait,
loved
fuck
having you on for a
K-Rob.
full segment.
Fuck you.
I was
I-
wondering
I-
when you were
I-
going to pick up.
I
I
was
thought the
didn't
fuck
say
you
your
said,
name.
fuck you!
I was just rolling with it, waiting for him to say something.
I didn't realize till the fucking he's like, wait a minute. Call it. Wait, he didn't say you're not.
Yeah, pleasure talking to you as well, Heathen.
Yay. I'm not on drugs or alcohol.
More
what picks
pleasure
are
than it
we,
is to race with you.
Oh, fuck you. I love race with you, K. You're always in my way. Except for New Hampshire. You're both each other's way.
I was definitely pulling some Ryan Newman stuff on you in that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know. No, that was an Indy. You fuck, I couldn't get past you. But no, there's no picks. We can pick for CRL next week though. But before we do that, not Target. KR, you want to go over where EMA won up the EMA stats this week?
I've got to think because
Well, that's
3
gonna
o'clock
take
in the
him
morning.
3 fucking years. Because
But no,
CRL
we,
has been very interesting.
We ran our truck series on Wednesday night. Catch Dog was able to pick up the win. He actually also won in the Smith Nation All-Star Truck Series
That's right. You all did talk about that.
prior to that. So he picked up that win. Actually, Rocky Top was leading coming to the line, but he felt he kind of moved Catch Dog out of the way to take the lead, so he went ahead and slowed down and let Catch Dog take the win. So I want to give a shout out to Rocky Top on doing the right thing, even though Catch Dog was said he didn't do him dirty, and he would have been fine with him winning that race. But Rocky Top handed over the win to Catch Dog, so he got 2 in a row. Then last night, or 2 nights ago now, because it is Saturday, we ran our Xfinity race at Chicagoland, and More Smoke picked up the win over there. And tonight at Atlanta was Sean for Life picking up the win over More Smoke. So.
Hell yeah. Flash, you gonna go over Sierra this week?
Hey,
Well,
can I handle this one for you?
Yeah.
Give me my
Heathen.
broom.
yeah, all right. Well, there was Sarah.
Give me my broom.
Yep, for the first time, as y'all here to hear, first time in CRL history, CCDN, H3A, THEN, CCDN Heathen. Sweeps
That's the
all
weirdest
3.
introduction I've ever had in my entire fucking life.
You said the 3 was there for a reason, so I'm going to say the 3.
Oh, it is.
And,
It's there for very
I know.
important reasons.
So that's why I
but-
spelled it out. Make sure everybody is clear that is the
Yeah, it's
name
not
this week.
spelled Heathen. It's H3Athen. Fucking motherfuckers.
Sweep all 3 races at Atlanta this week for the first time in CRL
Dominantly
history.
As
Yeah.
well, with no fucking fluke.
Isn't it even better that you got your own podcast to just gloat even more on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't have like an hour and a half interview on the fucking stream, so might as well
I figured
fuck
you
my
would have
own
made
dick
this
over
an hour and a
here.
half yeah, I figured you would have made this an hour and a half interview. You've done pretty well holding yourself together.
No, but all I'm saying is get the broom.
Yeah,
Hey,
I've
I
gotten
hate
that
when
broom
it's
out
shit
several
next
times
week.
tonight for you, and you ain't gotten it yet. So
Well, you haven't called me yet to say here, have it. So
would you like the dustpan with it?
no. I mean, to put everybody in it, yes. No, but really, we can talk about Gator this week, Flush.
Yes, Asphalt Gator, the week of his career as
The
well.
badass grandpa, as we call him.
Badass grandpa, yep. He almost got him a win last night. Came a lap and a half or so short. Went up the
You went
track
too
just
high
a
in
little
one.
bit to let you
I
under,
wasn't-
but like you
I wasn't
said,
gonna pass him.
yeah. But if
I
you
was
didn't,
gonna let him
someone else
win.
was going to pass both of y'all. So I don't
No,
blame
I
you
don't
there.
know if that. No, I was. I ran the turner line. Krob knows exactly what I'm talking about. At Atlanta, I ran that turner line very fucking well all damn week. Ain't no one was passing me.
What I'm saying is, if you had gone with him when he went up the track, somebody would have swept under both of you.
No, I was gonna hold
Uh,
bottom still, but I wasn't gonna like really push it. But I got pushed from behind to push past him. So, I mean,
Yes. But I mean,
he still
really
finished
didn't
second
have a-
though. So,
Yeah, he was able to still battle back and beat LA Fatality to the line
and
for
he
second.
pulled. Okay, tonight he passed Deuce Row and pulled away from Deuce Row.
Pulled away from almost by 3/4 to almost a second away from the pack. This guy, that tonight and last night were the races of his career, and he also was pretty solid in the Cup race. But really, I mean, these last two, I mean, this is what we're waiting for in CRL to see him win, because he is. No one in the league works harder at practicing and getting better. I see him on there all the time, practicing and just trying to perfect his line and get better and better. And
Remember
I
last
know-
year at this time we were telling me get the fuck out of the goddamn way because you're like 8
yeah,
laps
and
down.
I know, we figured out that he needs a tighter car, and that helps him
Oh yeah,
a lot.
definitely.
So we're able to tell him just run a preset down, or maybe throw a little bit more wedge in on it in the long run. And yeah, it's just great to see his growth here.
I also
in,
want to thank my crew
CRL.
chief tonight though.
Oh yeah, you're
As
welcome.
always.
No problem.
My forever crew chief.
But
Picks for next week for CRO. Is the NASCAR.
well, I
K-Rob,
want
who you got
to
for
do
Cup?
an interesting pick, and this is for Krob only, since he knows all these guys over in his couple leagues that he's involved in. Since we don't have NASCAR picks, let's do a pick of a little bit different. Krob, who do you think, from how they're running lately, who has the momentum in your whatever league you want to pick? Who do you think is going to win the championship in either of those leagues, or who do you think's the kind of the favorite right now in your leagues?
Well, it's kind of a two-parter because we had a guy that showed up a little bit a couple weeks late into the season and being a more smoke, and he's been on fire, winning a lot of races. But going into this week, X.25 was leading in all 3 series.
The boy.
Not surprising, but honestly, yeah, he's consistent for sure, always up front.
Yeah, and he had a great season at the end of the run with 3 wide. Had been for quite a while one of the more dominant guys in league racing across the Heat community because he was leading in almost every league he was running in. He was dominating PSES, he was dominating EMA at the start, still leading the points right now. But I think Mr. More Smoke and possibly even Aviator are going to have something to say about that when we get towards the playoffs.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to be a hell of a battle over there. I mean, the competition, I mean, what we were talking about earlier, it's so stacked over there. So it's
Where does CRL race this week?
Bristol.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I can't wait to call those
Bristol,
races.
Truck, and Cup, and then Chicago and Xfinity. For some fucking reason.
Yeah, so I like the mix though. I like that we're gonna have the Bristol race, on Wednesday, 9:30 Eastern, for the Cup race, and then we'll have the break and go to Chicagoland for the Xfinity Series at 9:30, and then we'll come back to Bristol to finish it out with the trucks at 10:30. So
Wait, Flash, I
probably
realized something.
the race I'm
You got-
looking for the most is the truck race.
You got one pick right.
Oh, that was probably my first time ever on the
You
podcast.
picked
getting
Heathen.
the prediction right.
For the Atlanta race, one of the Atlanta races this week. Last
Oh, and of course it was picking you. Okay, well, I mean, works out, I guess, for both of us.
Well, I'll just throw this out there. I'll tell you my picks. I think Jay Grant's going to win at Chicagoland, and I'm going to pick Cowboy
doesn't race
Nation for
Xfinity.
Bristol. He doesn't race Xfinity?
He
I really wanted to pick Jay Grant, but I think Cowboy's going to be better at Bristol.
I like the Cowboy pick for sure, and I think Grant would be pretty quick if he would run. He might. You don't think he's gonna make a? He don't think he'll be able to because of he's still over racing with why can't I think
He's not.
grassroots? He's not.
Well,
no.
then I'll go with Chevy Man for the Xfinity races. Ethan's got too big of a head after winning all three this week, so
I like that pick.
I think he's not
Good
going to be
win,
able to
Chevy.
put on his helmet to run
Well,
the races this coming week.
For Xfinity, I'll go ahead and make mine. Then, if he's back and he runs, I will go with Super Shifter, Mr.
I don't
Drake
think
Jr.
they're allowed to run anymore. Lower series. Maybe kept that off.
If he's not full, well, he has raced every race though, right? Other than the one he missed this
Mhm.
week in that series. No.
Yeah, but he's classified as part time.
Yeah, true.
He's
Because he
not.
said he was part time. Well, shoot. He couldn't pick Grant. I can't pick him. Well, that. Well, let me start with Cup then. I'll Chicagoland. Well, I'll pick Super Shifted for Cup then, and I'll pick.
I'm
you
picking
for
Party for fucking Bristol. He's almost well. He swept all the Bristol races last year. It wasn't all in 1 week though. So
Yeah. That's a good pick. I wanted to make sure he was going to be running, but I mean,
he should be
If-
at least Cup.
well, I'm going to steal that pick for trucks. Then I'm picking Party for the trucks.
If he races trucks,
Yeah.
you pick me for Xfinity.
I will pick you for Xfinity. Yeah.
All right,
I mean, Chicagoland. So,
bet. I get on the wall
who
Just a
are you
little bit.
picking?
myself. No, I'm kidding.
Can't pick yourself.
I know. Chicago, I really want to pick myself for Chicagoland because I think I actually have a really good chance for Chicagoland. But I'm picking LA for Chicagoland.
Okay.
If he can keep his anger under control, which he has been really, really, really good recently. So, Cup, I would pick Party, and then Truck, Gator.
Yeah, that was gonna be my backup pick. So, if Party doesn't run in trucks, I guess we'll both have Gator pick then. Just
So
for
Gator
the extra
has to
luck for
win.
Gator for trucks. Yep.
Well, no, actually, it's gonna be Chevy's winning all the races next week.
I really hope he doesn't watch this podcast. You're really gonna make the man break his TV.
No, this man. No,
computer or
okay,
whatever he's
so
watching on.
Grant tipped $25 to Tin the Tap Man. He's a big streamer. To say good win, Chevy.
Oh, that was so funny. I was laughing. I saw that clip.
So
It was 27,000 people live watching that.
Yeah.
when he did that.
yeah. So and the thing is, everybody thinks I have witchcraft. Apparently, I've heard that Tim has a lot more than I do. So plus, he has a lot more people watching him than I do. So obviously, dude's fucking massive on the Twitch platform. Fucking huge.
Yeah, he is.
So. All right. Flash, any closing statements for tonight?
Well, again, thank you to K-Rob for coming on and having a
Getting his full podcast.
getting to have a full segment. Because I mean, on that last one, your voice sounded very similar to Cole Trickle. Cole.
Oh yeah, very similar to Cole Trickle. Like
From
very,
Cole,
very, very similar to Cole Trickle.
But
Yeah, well,
but
thank you guys for having me.
Oh yeah. I know. I
Anytime.
literally told him in the party after the shit show that I had to endure on Wednesday night. And I went to that party and I was like, hey K-Rob, you're in tonight this week. And I was like, oh okay, thanks for letting me know. But I told him a while ago, I was like, I'm gonna have you on eventually when we have a spot open. And we had a spot open this week, so next week though might be big. That's all I'm saying. So, K-Rob, I want to thank you as always for hopping in here with us, telling you about actually giving you your life story for this time instead of giving your relationship status with Cole Trickle last time.
I want to say too, and K-Rob, you'd be one of them I would like to have back because we've had a few conversations with a few guests here about the new game. I would love to have these same conversations with those people when the new game comes out and get people's feedback on what they were expecting from it now versus what we got. So I think it would be great around the time, maybe a little after the game's release, and let the bugs or whatever, if they have any, maybe a month or so after.
Oh, there will be bugs.
Maybe have you on and we can do a little segment about that as well, and see what your thoughts on the new game is.
Oh yeah.
That'll be
Hopefully I'll have my wheel by then.
Yeah,
I'll definitely be down for that.
Also, next week will be a drunk podcast. Nah, I'm kidding. It won't be. But I am calling Flash for my birthday, and we're doing a celebratory shot. He'll be doing water though. But,
Yeah.
Unless Taylor lets him off the leash for one drink. Off to convince her. Off to convince her, let you have a tiny drink.
You'll be having plenty, I'm sure.
Oh, I know I will be, but that's.
Well, announce it here on the podcast. What's your drink of choice going to be for your 21st, man?
Oh fuck! I have no clue. I have no clue yet. Everything. Nothing's off the table. From what I've been told, Mom's stopped getting shit-faced, so. Yeah, this is not fun. I'm so glad we don't race that night because we're off the PSES.
What you're gonna need is to experience a nice old hangover. So she needs to get you the cheapest possible tequila, and then let's see what else could you do on top of that.
You want me to race
real dark.
You want me to race Bristol hungover?
Yeah, so some good old cheap dark rum and tequila.
Just
mix those two together, and yeah, you'll be hungover to your 22nd birthday.
Fine, I'll drink a lot and then come the Bristol race drunk as shit. And then they'll be like, hey, what the fuck? The 5-car looked like a fucking idiot.
But we could probably ramble on all night. This has been a great podcast. K-Rob, and a lot of NASCAR conversations about the old
we stayed on topic tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it was mostly about NASCAR, so I
have to ask K-Rob, did our questions were they good tonight?
Yeah.
See, X, we do better. We did good this week. We didn't come up with any questions. We just freestyle everything. Because when I write stuff down, I always ask them the day before or before the podcast starts. I'm just like, yep, fuck it. I already have the answer.
The problem is you can write the stuff down, Heathen, but then you have
I can't read.
Try to read it back. Yeah, you can't read it back.
Because I can't read my own handwriting, so I don't fucking know. I deadass. I cannot I can't. I'm not gonna. I almost slipped. The stuff that I have in the vault, I'll say, I can't. I had to type it out on my phone. I couldn't read my handwriting. That is yet. I mean, I've had this out. I've had this for years now. I've flashed. I first fucking wrote the damn thing, and I still haven't recorded it, nor have I put it out because I'm lazy.
Hey, we can do that, and it'll be the intro for the podcast one day.
Maybe not. I don't know about that one, buddy. Maybe the outro, not the intro.
Well, I can give you guys a little bit of an update too while we're sitting here. I just looked it up, and Jake
Jake Garcia.
Garcia brought it home third
Hell yeah.
for night one.
Yeah, congratulations to Turner and that whole
Speaking of actually,
team and organization.
Flash won IRDL at Dover this week, and I won the ASRX race in Nashville, right?
Yeah.
Or IRP this week.
God, we're actually racing every day of the week now too. It doesn't seem like it, but
Well, you're not.
pretty much.
I am.
Well, I kind of. Well, I might not
Well-
be now. I was on Wednesdays also after, but
Fuck them.
possibly Thursdays. But yeah. On that note, good way to end the podcast, huh? Fuck them.
Hey, we do it once in a blue moon. We did it last week because whatever. I know you have history with this. Okay, Rob. What's the best part about CRL?
It's now comes without the W.
I like that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that. Yes, Flash. You want to add anything to that before we get
No,
pissed at the party?
I like how he said it.
Party, we're sorry.
I really do.
but look, it's my birthday next week. I could fuck I want. You can chastise me after. Yes, I know what chastise means.
You might can right now, but I wouldn't be trying that if you're in a bar or something on your 21st. You might think you can do whatever you want after you get a few drinks in you, but
Well,
I'm not
need to watch.
man.
Guys need to watch having that said on this podcast, because eventually, when that lawsuit comes.
With that all being said, boys, I've been going to see also my man 3 Flashes. With K-Rob. With K-Rob.
That was the way to end it right there.
Stanley is here. Thanks to our sponsors, Viking Matco, which Party works for, and Northeast High Storm Chasers, which Storm. Well, I was Flash as Northern Texan.
The Northern Texan Eastern Storm Chasers, yeah, Storm knows.
With that being said, we'll talk to y'all next week for episode. What's next week episode? Like 25, 24, something like that.
Yeah, sure. Yep,
Wait, you're gonna
that
be on
one.
24?
I think this is 24
Update
actually.
your damn Discord channel.
Okay. With that being said, y'all, we'll see y'all next week. Peace out. Taylor McClare.